All right, here's the scenario. All right, here's the play-by-play. All right, here we go with the scenario now in Houston, Texas. Let's break it down. All right, let's get ready to break down the scenario real quick. But first, we have a bogey right over here. Okay, we eliminated. Oh wait. Oh, yeah. Okay. Enemy eliminated, and we have a treasure in the pond, and we have another treasure over there. So let's get into position. All right, let's go ahead and break down that scenario real quick. So we have the double-sided axe right here. Okay. So the scenario B, the scenario is the situation is that. So we're gonna get to the breakdown. We have incoming storms, gigantic squall coming in by 4 a.m. and it's gonna last until I don't know 4 to 10 a.m. and it's gonna fuck shit up. So that's pretty much. I don't know. I'm just getting my gaming and shit. You know, I might watch a little Rambo First Blood, and then go to sleep. It could knock out the power. Well, I mean, I could probably watch a little bit of. I could probably keep the TV on, and then fall asleep to Rambo, and then maybe like a bit of First Blood, and then and this is like legit my plan, but all right. I think are these the Staminoka fish? Or y'all can tell me in the comments whether it's Staminoka or not, but yeah, I doubt anybody gives a shit though. But about video game fish, yeah, probably not. Probably no go on that. So the big line of storms come in, and so I'm going to try to get into some gaming basically, and I'm going to play Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild because it's real chill. In case there's a tornado or something, in case like the weather's really disrupts my sleep and shit, and oh, okay, I got the Korok lead. Make sure he didn't fuck it up, did he? Hold on a second. Got to get this. Got to get this boy off the field to play, as it were. We spotted some peppers, so we need to go take care of that too. Uh, so if you ever see some peppers in a forest, grab those peppers because you'll need those for cooking later. Just in case. Now the likelihood you're going to see some wild peppers out in the forest is probably pretty low, but in case you do, you know what to do. And you want to do a little arrow practice in case you need some arrow training tonight? No, not really. No, there's nothing. You can't do arrow training. That doesn't help you survive a storm pool. Yeah. So by 4 o'clock, we're going to start getting flooded, and the winds are going to pick up. There's a low tornado risk, but it's there, and there's a risk for hail. So in a tornadic type situation. We're going to basically, I'm going to go downstairs with my dogs, with our dogs, and we're going to go into the bathroom and and huddle down there. It's pretty much the plan. Probably in the big bathtub, the big like hot tub bathtub thing, with all those walls. Because a tornado can go from like 200 miles per hour or so, according to the weather videos I was watching about surviving a tornado. All right. Looks like the wind's blown us over here, so I won't actually paddle over there since Mother Natural's doing it for me. Oh, that's what I called the Austin Bomber. I called him the Wizard of Bombs instead of the Wizard of Oz. Yeah, that bomber was active in like way back, like 2017, 2018, 2019 or something. And I made a video about it because the guy was kind of, I guess he was a copycat of Ted Kaczynski, kind of, from Pflugerville, Texas. Pflugerville is off 290. It's on the way to Austin proper. It's kind of like a podunk type town. It's kind of like a farming town. And I say lovingly, Pflugerville is a podunk town. No offense. I'm sure it's a great place, but most Texas towns are awesome except the notorious Vidor. Yeah, the notorious Vidor is known for being a notorious white supremacist. Used to be a bad place for lynchings and racial problems. So that's why Vidor is infamous for white supremacist activity. Yeah. But besides that, most small Texas towns are great. And even if a Texas town had a racist or notorious past, times change, and the people aren't going to, um, definitely that kind of thing is not going to last forever. Yeah, the reason I was really worried about these storms, I've just had a gut feeling, for many days now, where I feel true dread. That's why. So I have like true dread, and I don't know if it's about this storm. I don't know if it's you know it's probably about this storm, but it could be about another event that's coming. So I'm not exactly sure, but it could be specifically my dread. My feelings of dread could be related to this storm in particular. So for some reason, I have this awful feeling something very bad is going to happen, and It's not like an anxiety disorder. It's more like it's situational. So I feel some sort of existential dread. Either it's about the storm or it's an event that's very soon in the future, wise. So yeah, it makes me feel uneasy, but I can't really say what that event necessarily is with all certainty. Mm, mm, eh, mm. Yeah, but shit's about to get crazy in with the weather. So oh, nice. Beep beep beep. Got some fire arrows. Light them up. Oh, did everybody die from that? We didn't start the fires. It all started when your grandmother farted. Oh, he was already falling off, huh? Yeah. Want some more dong? All right, my boy. We have to get serious about our weaponry here instead of the bullshit. Well, the dishes were done and the food was refilled. So yeah, we're prepared with the supplies in case anything goes sideways, and so it's pretty cool. Give me that Helian rice, don't get it, don't. Yeah, get that He-Man sword. Or you want to just finish up with this. All right, get that wind cleaver. Leave it to cleaver. Ooh, yeah. Ow. Do it. Yes. My baby. My boy. All right, how many other ones we got? We got some other boys. I think we got some other places. Hmm. So the wind's going to pick up and then the storms are going to start rolling in. So the power could be disrupted in my live stream of this game, but it's likely not really going to probably shut off the power for another hour or two until the storms actually start really setting in. So, oh, that was just all cool. I got up real high so I could glide in, but it didn't work. I misjudged it by a little. Mm. Hey, Tula. I know. The storms are coming in. I know too. Okay. Hey, too. I know. You're a good guard. But that's not people outside. That's a storm coming in, too. Yeah. Hope you don't bark at the storm all night. Yeah, baby. You got your monkey? Don't worry. If you get scared, I'm gonna be right here, okay? So we got Snuggie tonight together. If there's a tornado, I'm taking us to the bathroom downstairs, okay? It's the lowest level. Yeah. Don't worry, Chula. I got your back tonight. When this shit goes down, then I'll take care of you. If the shit goes down, run out of places to hide. Wonder if the motherfucker ever survived. Gonna nail the next fuck. When the shit goes down, run out of places to hide. Wonder if the motherfucker ever survived. Is that Ministry? I think that sounds like Ministry to me.
The roof protection is now ready to roll.
When the shit goes down, run out of places to hide. I just like I always remember those lyrics for some reason. I always remember, I always remember those lyrics from it is Ministry, right? It's like when the shit goes down, run out of places to hide. Wonder if the motherfucker ever survived. Yeah, that was a good one. Open your prayer guides to Psalm 69, 69, 69. Is that another? Yeah, that's another great part. Oh, and then they have the guy goes, "Praise Jesus." Yeah. Oh, that Lay Lady Lay cover from Bob Dylan is great. The metal version of Lay Lady Lay. It's like Lay Lady Lay, lay on big brass bed. Yeah, that's always great. Like when I always love when Ministry or like Typo Negative would or even like yeah, like I always love when industrial or metal bands like redid like classic rock songs or like old folk songs. It always sounds pretty cool usually, depending on the song. But okay, dude. I love you, baby. Where's two? Did you go into the bed, dude? Oh, maybe she ran back into the living room. She might be barking at the storms tonight. I don't know. She's not really used to. It hasn't rained that much in her life, so she's probably not used to it. Oh yeah, there's a lot of bats around here, fool. Not just the Boko Club. Would that actually trip you out if you were going out and then like you saw a club and it was called the Boko Club? You'd be like, what the hell? That's from Zelda. But if you saw like the Bad Bunny Club, you'd be like, oh, this is a gay club for butt buddies. Uh oh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Choo choo chilly. Ah, that last ass whooping. Mm-hmm. I need a steed of darkness for my next mission. Ah, I will call this horse Brownie, named after brownies. Ooh. Well, where should I go, my lovelies? Ooh. Okay. Is that a car? That's some vehicular. Yeah. Okay. I hear a car revving. Ooh. Yeah. I hear a car going. Brrr. Yeah. All right. Ah. Yeah. I didn't want to do that. All right. Here we go. Ooh. Where are we going, by the way? Tell you where we're going down. Going to the cliffs of Quint, homie. Yeah. Hold on. We got somebody trying to mess with my donkey. Trying to mess with my donkey. I'm gonna hit you like a honky. Mm. We got that electro meat pie. Ooh. Oh. That go butter. Got fresh milk. Yeah. Yeah. So I got my milk, butter, and eggs right there. So we're all good, bro. Yeah. Let's go on to the next mission down. Where's my horse at, fool? What? Where's my horse? My horse is a chicken. This horse is a chicken shit. Man. Uh, well, I mean, the night storm is the worst because there's a tornado. You don't know what the fuck is going on because you can't see shit. So that's a problem. Boys. What a fight to be. We'll fight hoe to hoe. Ah, ah, ah. Trying to knock me off, dog? You're about to get down. Ooh. Got the farming hoe. I won the battle of the hoes. Hell yeah. Still a little bit of this. Okay. It's about to get crazy. Oh, oh, oh. Mm. A lot of monsters near Kakariko down or Hatena.
The bombing scale is now ready.
Better get my shit ready. So I'm coming back like the return of the jetty. Hell yeah. Come at me, bro. Mm. Got that pitchfork for you. So Tula will probably come in here, run in here like if she gets scared by the storms. She's not really used to all these noises. Now in Houston, I can't really tell sometimes at first if it's a storm or if like it's just Friday or Saturday night and people are just partying, playing loud music. So at first, I can't really tell. That's kind of like I guess the problem with the big city is that you can't really tell because the people are making so much fucking noise with the cars and the speakers and shit and the music and everything. That's but at a certain point there can't be anybody really driving, jamming loud music that's going to be able to compete with the storm, realistically speaking. So at some point people are going to need to sleep and yeah. So some people can't, be out late jamming rap or rock or bass music. I mean, I guess young people can party all night, I guess, but like eventually even young people got to sleep. So trying to get trying to get jiggy on me, huh? Trying to get real with the dome. Get jiggy with it. Nah, 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 nah. Mm-hmm. Oh man, I thought that was stellar. Ooh, you want to try to hit him with the boomerang? Yeah, I do. I'm try to hit this boy with the boom. Oh shit! Missed him again. Shit. Hopefully it doesn't. Like, oh, he was point blank. Mm, shit. Mm-mm. All right, let's try to get him. Okay, good. Got him. Ooh, it's worth even trying to shoot him this way. Nope. Let's get rid of that fool dome. Ooh. Ooh. Playing that legendary Zelda for real. Ooh. Got another monster camp up in here. Yeah. Okay, so a man was hung, okay, and set on fire in Houston, uh, apparently by a homeless encampment under a. Now, if you don't understand Houston, there's homeless encampments in every major, uh, you know, every major metropolitan city in the United States of America. And, it's just gotten worse over the years from the Great Recession to the, veteran homeless crisis to the COVID crisis. So the homeless has only, gone up as the rich have gotten richer. The elite and the top 1% have gotten exorbitantly wealthy uh, as the working classes fell uh, in the cracks and the middle class has lost ground. So homelessness has increased exponentially in the United States of America, and really, across, all over the world, really. So in Houston, if there's not a lot of forests, and if there's any forest in Houston, any wooded areas, then homeless people will just set up encampments in the forest. Uh, but what they're doing is a lot of the homeless encampments are underneath the overpasses of the freeways. Very sad situation, but it is what it is. So they live in these concrete places underneath the bridges and underneath the uh, freeways. The homeless and the vagrants and the drug addicts and everything like that. All right. But the brutality of this crime. Um, Now, I remember hearing, Jalisco and MS-13 gang members and Sinaloa cartel gang members from Mexico, if I recall, that they do a lot of ritualistic killings. So one of their main uh, gang killings is to it's basically like Negan's gang. So Negan, to scare his opponents, he throws people off bridges and he sets them on fire, like in The Walking Dead. And that's exactly what they do in hardcore gangs. Is that they do horrific violence, like as a psychological tactic, like maybe not as extreme as Vlad the Impaler of Wallachia uh, in the Order of the Dragon, Dracul, but it has a similar psychological effect. It's saying, "Come in our territory, or mess with our gang, and this is, or mess with our cartel, and this is what's going to happen to you." So, if I was an investigator for a man gets thrown off a bridge in a overpass, and he's hanging, and he's set on fire. That just kind of sure you could have an isolated crime incident that's not gang related and not related to MS-13 or a drug cartels, but that kind of crime is specifically like a gang territory crime. It's like you know that just kind of, to me, that kind of killing, it's so premeditated, it's so planned, it's so organized as to cause shock and awe uh, to the opponents of that gang, or maybe it's a general warning to society. But yeah, it could be the work of just one man. It could be a serial killer, but I'm leaning towards gang, drug cartel activity there. We don't usually see these types of gruesome crimes in America, uh, in Texas, but since the Biden Harris administration let in 10 to 12 million illegal aliens and a lot of foreigners we didn't even know where they came from, um, you know, there's a lot of bad apples that got out, and they may be doing things that are horrific that they learned in the third world to instill fear in the population. And so that's what I think we're dealing with here. That's what I believe we're dealing with here. To me, this is a gang crime. I know they keep saying there's a homeless encampment. Yeah, that's true. I mean, maybe another homeless man got into a fight over another homeless man, and they were fighting over the bottle of whiskey or something, or he ripped him off for some cocaine, or whatever the fuck it was. It seems a little extreme to tie a man by the noose and throw him off the freeway like they do in Mexico and light him on fire. That just seems like a a gang related murder to me. It's very reminiscent of the way the drug cartels deal with their enemies in Mexico. So American citizens really aren't used to this type of gruesome violence, beheadings and hangings and people getting set on fire, because unless the third world is imported. So most American citizens are not used to these barbaric and heinous, uncivilized uh, crimes. So that's why that particular Houston, Texas murder is making so many headlines, because it's barbaric, and it's like almost like an ancient punishment. like crucifixion or something. But I guess we don't live in the most civilized times now. Or increasingly, Western civilization feels like it's losing its civilized nature that it used to have for a while. Uh, that was orderly and um, cohesive for a long time. Ah, yes. Now we're just wandering and meandering like Mel Gibson. Cliffs of Quint, Stone Towns. Like like Mel Gibson, the man wandering through the wilderness, fighting the outlaws of the wasteland. Max Rockastan, what's his name? Rockastansky or something. Yeah, I really um, I think George Miller. I think George Miller getting on that woke train and making Mad Max into a feminist Charlize Theron power trip. I think that was a bad idea. It's not that I didn't like the Furiosa saga. I did like that movie, Furiosa saga, as a Mad Max fan, but the not including uh, Mel Gibson in the later installments, it's kind of a douchebag move, in my opinion, just because he got drunk and started cursing out Jews and saying sugar tits and all this wild shit while he was shit faced. And I don't know. I think that was a cop out. Not. Um, I guess the creator George Miller. He's like, well, you know, um, I guess him and Mel Gibson had a falling out, politically and artistically, I suppose. But as a Mad Max fan, I'd love to see like Mel Gibson in a Mad Max, movie at some point, playing Mad Max, but like an old Mad Max. Yeah, that would be like a good idea for a movie, like show. It could be like even like in a flashback. It could be him like reminiscing, and then like Tom Hardy is playing him as like a younger. I think that would be pretty cool. Or you know, kind of. I don't know how they could do it, but if they were in the same movie, and if they could just explain it, I don't know, or just yeah. So many possibilities of what could be done. Um, yeah, I'd like to see Mel Gibson like suit up one last time, even if he was like real old. It's probably not going to happen because I think the rift in ideologies and the rift in time and like the falling out, I think is that the relationship between George Miller and Mel Gibson is not that great. So oh well. Well, I'll just enjoy the original Mad Max trilogy, and then just as a bonus, Fury Road and Furiosa, the Mad Max saga, as a like kind of a bookend to it, I guess. Those actually the Fury Road and the Furiosa movies aren't they're pretty entertaining. Um, so I'm not really as pissed about that as I am about like Disney Star Wars and Disney. Indiana Jones, which is fucking horrible. I'm more pissed about that. Be sucking ass. I guess Mad Max: The Furiosa Saga didn't do that well. People didn't like it as much as I did, so it was kind of like a box office bomb. So I don't know if they're going to complete uh, a Furiosa trilogy at this point, uh, or even a Tom Hart. Even like, yeah, it's the problem with the latest Mad Max movies is that they're not about Mad Max anymore. So Mad Max has become a secondary character in his own movie, which is like bullshit. I guess that's a lot of that's kind of a problem with a lot of the movies. Uh, it's like how can you name a movie the Mad Max saga and not have Mad Max in it? I mean, it's like what the fuck? It's kind of like having a movie called Captain Picard and Picard's not in it or something. That's just crazy. Or having a movie called Indiana Jones and then like there's just a woman that's bitch slapping him. Like he's a secondary bitch in his own fucking movie. I don't get it. But that's what they've done in Hollywood lately, which is like men are weak and like drunks and like pieces of shit and like women are just fucking awesome or something and they're not shitty. That they're just perfect angels. I think that's a garbage message to share with the reality of the world. That's just a really woke like feminist sellout message, and that's like a terrible message to give to boys and young men that they're fucking unimportant, that they're just secondary to females or some shit like that. Yeah, it is. At first, I didn't believe the reviews when they said in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny that. At first, I did not even believe them when they said that the woman knocks Indiana Jones out and rescues him. At first, I didn't believe it until I actually watched the movie, and I said, "Damn, they really did that shit." Indiana Jones was a bitch in his own movie. Gets bit sucker punched by his fucking assistant. It's fucking garbage. Well, it was Kathleen Kennedy from Lucasville. Put a chick in it and make it gay. No, it was like Cartman's voice. It was like, put a chick in it and make it gay. I love that part on South Park where he's like, where the waiters is waiting on Kathleen Kennedy, but it's Cartman, and it's uh, the Kathleen Kennedy uh, representation by Cartman is like, what the hell is this? And then the waiter's like, it's fettuccine. Didn't you order that? And then he's like, put a chick in it, make it gay. And then the waiter's like, but ma'am, put a chick in it, make it gay. And then they like show the the woman lathering up in the Alfredo noodles or whatever the fuck. That was hysterical. Yeah. When, sometimes I don't always like the South Park, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, but I will say that I've enjoyed some of their stuff over the years. I'm not a regular South Park viewer, um, so just kind of hit or miss. If it's on, if I'm high or something like that, maybe. if I roll a doobie, I might put one in. I think it was yeah. Should old people drive had me dying. Yeah, I was blazed off a bud cookie one day after work or something, and I was like, well, I'm stoned right now. What should I do? And then I was like, well, put on a cartoon. And they had, South Park on Comedy Central. And the episode was, should old people drive? And it was like at the beginning of the episode, I'm ripped, I'm baked, stoned. And it's like, I've told this story before. I know I have because it was so funny. It's like South Park tackles the question, should elderly people be allowed to drive? And in the first scene, it's like the elderly man. He's really decrepit looking and stuff, and then he like gets in the car, and he's like, and it goes, and he's like, he drives through the house, and then he drives to the second floor, and he's like, and I'm high, and I'm like, oh my god, this is too much. I started laughing my head off. It's like, yeah. So, and of course, it's exacerbated by when you got elderly drivers and they don't want to give up the supposed freedom of driving. Yeah, so the closest that they ever got to getting killed was when they did a representation with Kenny, and they said this is Muhammad, and that set the Islamic Muslim world into assassination mode, pretty much. Yeah, I'm sure their security got pretty. I'm sure they got death threats and everything. Yeah, is that that's the one thing you're not able to do. Like you can depict Christ, you can depict Buddha, you can you know depict Jewish. Well, I mean that's Jesus Christ is the Jew, is the King of the Jews. So goes without. So, but yeah, and you can depict the King of the Jews. You can depict the crucifixion. You can depict anything in Judaism, pretty much, and Christendom, Hinduism, Buddhism, all the different world religions. The one thing that you cannot, the only religion that forbids you not to depict the prophet of the religion is Muhammad. So, so when they said, so if you see the Muslim architecture, it's always really stark. God is Allah is a very stark and um, patriarchal, disciplinary figure. He's very scary, actually, and there's no form or shape to give Muhammad, and so that's the reason why the Charlie Hebdo attacks happened with the Islamic fundamentalist jihadis, is because the French made fun of Muhammad in their cartoons, and that's what led to the mass shooting and the murders at the Charlie Hebdo. Uh, when cartooning was a thing, so what was a big thing in magazines and so forth, satirical magazines. Yeah, did I think that Matt Stone and Trey Parker were going to die when they did that? Um, there was actually a real possibility for a while that I thought, man, and I don't think that terrorists are going to let that ever. They may not ever let that go, even though that was like whatever 20 years ago or 10 years ago or 15 years ago, whatever it was. Yeah, these are the kind of people that hold grudges for like, they don't just hold a grudge for like a year or 2 years. These people, they hold a grudge, for their whole lives. So it's not good. Right? I'm pretty sure that Matt Stone and Trey Parker probably still to this day have a security. They at least have a security system around their house, and they got to have bodyguards or security detail to protect themselves and their families because you never know. Because it's not just when it happened. It's like with the internet, things can live on for you know decades, years, centuries. I mean, well, decades. Okay, not so. All it takes is like just one crazy Islamic fundamentalist jihadi to check out the cartoon and get enraged. But hopefully they'll be okay. That's all I'm saying. But I'm sure they still have high security just in case the shit hits the fan. I mean, Muslim architecture. They have architecture, but it's not like there's not depictions. Like there's of the Prophet Muhammad or Allah. Yeah, yeah. Hang gliding, paragliding. Oh, yeah. Nice to bleed you. Ooh. I have to ask you a question. Ooh. Oh, using those Ubonics. I love Ubonics. What are you talking about? I love hooked on phonics and Ubonics, and also the tonics, as you all know, and the pentatonics. Yeah. Oh, that'd be a good idea for a drink, huh? The pentatonic. Yeah, I have the pentatonic, 5 different booze or 5 different ingredients. That's a good idea. I have to try that. Uh, yeah, obviously ideas have to make sense if it's like a machine that you want to work. But if it's just like, a joke or like a sketch of an idea, then it doesn't really have to work. It doesn't have to be logical necessarily. So it basically a creative idea doesn't even really have to make sense. Is what I'm saying. In a nutshell, it, ideas only have to make sense in the context into which it could be understood. That's why some people can understand jokes and other people cannot. That's why some people think something's random, and then some people think, oh, that makes sense. That's why there's that divide. It's not that people are necessarily that there's a class of people called stupid people, and stupid is just a moniker for like a misunderstanding, right? So yeah, I know it's probably tempting to call somebody annoying stupid because it's just so easy to do. That would be the temptation. You would just say like, oh man, somebody really annoying is stupid. Oh, they're just stupid. But I think stupid is just another word for like you don't understand, or the people don't. They have a miscommunication, a misunderstanding. So it's helpful to me to look at problems in terms of between human beings as a lot of times a communication problem, which causes misunderstanding and all the other negative things. So that's a good explanation as to why some people might get my jokes, and then other people they might not get what I'm doing. So what some people see as random, others see a pattern, and what other people's and if there's a pattern, then somebody could say that it's random, and like vice versa. Like ideas can be um, interchangeable constructs. In other words, semantically speaking. So I'm hearing loud, like vacuuming, or I'm hearing, I don't know. I don't know if this next door. I don't think anybody's just like booming rap music outside or some shit. But maybe somebody's just cleaning their house real quick. Yeah. People probably have to in the neighborhood with all these storms coming in. They probably have to, like me, get their cleaning done because when this storm hits, it could knock out the electricity. Maybe for a day, maybe for 2 days. Hopefully, it's not anything worse than that. But in this type of situation, some people are probably hurrying it up. Like, oh shit, I got to do my laundry. Oh, I got to do the vacuuming. I got to do the Swiffer. I got to do the whatever. Oh shit, I need to clean my undies. Stuff like that. Because a lot of people don't know if we'll have electricity mañana or very shortly, I guess, in the next few hours. Yeah, I think the major storms were already under the flood watch in Houston, Texas, but then it really kicks in, ramps up around 4 a.m. So that's when the shit really starts to hit the fan. The shit hits the plan, and that's when it go. That's when the situation goes down. Welcome to the team. So I never tried Patron, tequila. And the other day I was kind of researching this actress who was really hot. They had this actress that was really really hot, and she was in Weekend at Bernie's. And it wasn't just because of Joe Biden and like uh, being called the Weekend at Bernie's presidency, or Bernie Sanders real old. Weekend at Bernie's, haha, they're old. Like they're dead, like they're almost dead, like they're walking corpses and stuff like that. It wasn't really that. It was just one day I did feel really nostalgic for Weekend at Bernie's, and it was on, and I decided, well, I was like 8 or 9 when this came out. Why not, and I probably watched it when I was like uh, in the early, maybe early like preteen kind of area, or right after teenagehood. And so that's, but it was really a late 1980s movie, I think. 1988, 1989, on the cusp of the 90s. And right in that traditional period. It was kind of an interesting movie, too, because it takes place partially in New York, and um, they show the Twin Towers a lot. So that's kind of interesting to me, too. I like watching the 1980s movies where they show the World Trade Center and the Twin Towers, as it were. And so yeah, I decided to have like a little nostalgia thing, since I was born in 1980. And hey, let's watch Weekend at Bernie's. This will be funny. Like, two guys trying to make it in New York, and trying to get laid and stuff. This will be funny shit. Them drinking beer and living with their mom and dad, and all that kind of shit. All that kind of funny comedy shit. Failure to launch, 40-year-old virgin, that kind of stuff. Except quirkier, Weekend at Bernie's. Uh, Bernie is murdered in Weekend at Bernie's, and then they have to pretend, the Andrew McCarthy and his name, is it Joel? I'm sorry, Silverman, Jonathan Silverman. They have to pretend that Bernie is still alive, and they have to basically use Bernie as like a puppet, so they can find out who killed Bernie, and that they can advance their careers, and I don't know, get laid and make money or whatever, whatever it is, whatever the goal of these fine young lads. And started watching it. I said, "Man, this is pretty funny." And in an old school sense, two young guys trying to make it, bosom buddies, kind of uh, buddy movie scenario, with the twist that they have to play with a corpse, and that's the gist of Weekend at Bernie's. Okay, but when they're at Bernie's beach house, in is it where do they even go? Do they go to like Cape Cod or Kenny Buckport, or so? They go to some exotic place that only rich people live, or only elites live at. And so this model comes in on skates, and she's like, "Hey, where's Bernie?" Everybody's asking where Bernie is because he owns the party pad, and they discovered the open bar with all the liquor. They're gonna get real liquored up, and this Playboy model comes in on a roller skates, and it's like, oh my good god. And it's like this blonde with big tits, and like this the sexiest, I mean, it's like super sexy chick, and Playboy model, as I said. And it was like, I mean, this blonde chick is like, this Playboy model is just fucking bodacious. I mean, it's like, good gosh, like if you saw her in real life, I bet the guys were like, their mouth was probably on the floor. Like, I bet they're, thinking impure thoughts when they saw this woman. And Got lizard snipers, which is a usual problem in real life, obviously. Don't you hate when you get under attack by lizards? God, I hate that. Lizard, I hate when I become under assault by lizard snipers. Yeah, that's like a real world problem. Indeed. So I was thinking to myself, I was like, damn. And I was just curious the other day, and I was like, who is that chick? I just started to think about it. Like, it, I was like, who is that Playboy model who's in the 1980s sexy like workout outfit on the roller skates with the gigantic bazongas? And yeah, I mean the thing about the 1970s, 1980s, 1990s women is that they look real clean. The thing about it is that women used to look really, really clean before like Dita Von Teese or Kat Von D and those characters. Women used to not defile their bodies as much as they do today and wear the green hair and put murals of tattoos all over their fucking body and they fuck it up. So one of the refreshing things about women in the old days, like 1950s, 1960s, 1970s, 1980s, 1990s, maybe even into the 2000s a little bit, is that the trash look was not in. Like the trash look, getting tattoos of your body and piercings all over your face was not chic for a long time. That was looked at as trashy, and it was not acceptable for women to look or to modify their bodies like that. So that's the refreshing thing that guys look back on is especially if they lived through those times. They're like, oh, remember when women like were real clean and they didn't defile their bodies with tattoos and excessive piercings. Yeah. So one thing you can appreciate if you watch old movies, you're like, look how clean those women look. Like, just look how just clean. Look, I mean, everything is just so clean. Like the colors, everything's just so like appealing. And and then I looked up, okay, who did she marry? Because this was a super hot chick. So then I looked up, it was Paul Mitchell. Uh, uh, I'm sorry, it was a guy who developed who hooked up with hairstylists in the Paul Mitchell systems, and he had not only gotten rich from Paul Mitchell systems, but he had also what else? He I was gonna link the story back to. Oh man, my story got so complex that I forgot the how I was gonna link it all back. Yeah. Oh, I can just look up his biography, huh? Yeah, that's the way I can remember because it's like so many threads in the story. It, it's called John Paul. Oh yeah, John Paul Mitchell Systems. Yeah, John Paul DeJoria is the guy who married. Uh, okay, guy who married the hot blonde from Eloise DeJoria. Yeah, Eloise Brody. Yeah, married 1993, 4 children. Yeah, I'm sure he has a lot of children. I bet he wanted to have sex all the time. Oh yeah, yeah. Right, I was bringing it. The story started when I remembered Patron tequila. Yeah, of course. Yep. So my first shot of Patron, or did I? I worked for a liquor store for like 2 years. Okay, Patron. Yeah, he owns Patron. DeJoria. Yeah. Yeah, you think those people with like 4 or 5 kids, um, I think for the rich ones, like they're married to these like Playboy models and stuff. I think they have a lot of kids because they're just like they want to have more and more and more sex, and it's just like, yeah. I mean, like if you're married to somebody who's like a super smoking hot babe, of course the guy's gonna be like, oh yeah, we're gonna have more kids, like, because we're gonna have sex all the time. Makes sense. Yeah, yeah. So I might have tried some Patron tequila when I worked at the liquor stores, like 2006, 2007. It was really expensive, so I didn't get to. It was like Dom Perignon. I didn't get to taste it that often because, it's not too cheap. It's some high quality shit. So usually people didn't open the 200-year-old Scotch because it's 200-year-old age Scotch, and that's like, yeah. Typically, there weren't tastings of Louis the 13th cognac or something. That really expensive shit. I think Dom Perignon back in the day it was like $100 a bottle. That fine champagne. With inflation, it's probably way worse. I bet it's more expensive now. Yeah, the Louis the 13th cognac is, oh, what? The Macallan single malt Scotch whiskey is $259,000. What the hell? Oh yeah, Louis the 13th is usually, um wow, they got, ooh, some of this stuff is going for what? Oh my lord. Some of this stuff is going for $150,000. Usually Louis the 13th went from $3,000 to $5,000. Oh my god. Yeah, that's more like it. By Remy Martin, yeah. Whew. Jeez Louise. Yeah, I remember it being somewhere between $3,000 and $5,000. But I guess if it's aged, really, if it's a special blend, if it's a rare blend, I guess it can go for thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. uh, uh, My boy. Yeah, I think so. Tula might start barking at the storm if it starts being noisy, and then got your boy Ty. Ooh. Oh, he's giving me that hasty milk. That's what's up. It's a weird character. Fancy seeing you here, Ty. No, I don't think it was. Okay, I put you back up there, man. Don't. Hopefully Bella doesn't hyperventilate tonight. She gets really bad anxiety attacks when storms come. I guess she thinks it's like monsters or something. And I don't know what Tula's a young pup. I don't know what she's going to think. I can kind of predict Bella's behavior, but a young pup, I can't really um, predict Tula's attitude, the attitula. Um, she has a more bring it on kind of aggressive like uh, attitude. Yeah, she has a lot more 10 feet tall and bulletproof attitude. I guess that's just a that could be a trait of just youth in general. Like bring it like sort of a Tula's got a scrappy kind of bring it on type of fighter attitude towards life. So either the two classic natural responses to life will be fight or flight. So either retreat or make a stand. So those are the two natural responses by biological life forms in you know scientific biological evolutionary theory. Fight or flight, very simple. You either make a stand or life bends you over and spanks you on the ass or rapes you in the ass. There it is. Fight or flight. That's the response to stress. Run away or make a stand. Very simple. Yeah. Run away, flight, or fight. Dig in for war. Give in or give. Yeah. Take or be taken. That's the choices people have, or biological life forms have. Get some or get none. The choice is up to the creatures, to the people, to the animals. Fight or flight. Yeah. Classic, simple. So Tula is either going to get scared and run away by big loud storms, or there's a possibility that she could try to bark at the storms like she's fighting it, or um, she could run away and cry to me and hope that I can protect her against the big bad monster dinosaurs outside making noise. Is that thunder or rap music? Well, in Houston, we're probably getting to the thunder now. So I'm probably not hearing movies and uh, jammity jams anymore. I'm probably not hearing the people jam the bangers. It's likely that it's arrived by now. But I get you, sucker. Yeah, but I mean the major shit's gonna go down 4 a.m. But like I think it starts coming in, you know, closer we get to that point. It starts slowly creeping the squall. So I don't know if it's gonna knock out the power by the time it's tomorrow morning, and then so that means no streams for um, could be the whole day. I don't know yet. Oh, I might do a storm stream just in between, just to document. Maybe get some nice pictures. Um, yeah, I never sent in any photography to KPRC Channel 2 News. I was thinking about doing that if I got some good snaps. Maybe if I got some good rainbows tomorrow, if I got some good like maybe sunset rainbows, some great shit, then I might think about sending it in to the station, you know, to the news station. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that is kind of like a fantasy. I think I don't know. I always thought Rene Russo was just so hot. Like when I was a kid. I mean, like even the middle school girl I had a crush on was kind of like a brunette version of Rene Russo. That kind of woman was all, but the redhead just sent it over the edge for me. That the woman was such a hot redhead, Rene Russo. So like when I saw a movie about a guy like perving on Rene Russo and trying to bang her, I was like, oh my god, that's like my fantasy in real life. So it's almost like weird that Nightcrawler is like kind of like my fantasy in real life, and like to bang a mature Rene Russo, like that would even be like the next sexual level. And but basically, I mean, the Jake Gyllenhaal's character that records all the murders and the bodies and the corpses. He's basically, a fucking psycho. And yeah, that was a very dark movie. Yeah. Yeah, but even though Rene Russo in real life is, gorgeous and sexy and wonderful, a great person, it's like in this movie, she's in Nightcrawler. She doesn't care like about anything as long as she gets more money and the ratings go up. She doesn't care how moral or ethical her photographer is, or her the guy that gets all the brutal footage. So I can't really tell who's really worse, either the psycho or the media. I don't know if that movie Nightcrawler was a critique on the media. It could have been. I'm not sure if that's the exact theme. I don't think it's like a bizarre sexual fantasy to want to like have sex with Rene Russo. I'm just saying, like from our early age, like I always thought, man, especially when I was a teenager, I was like, damn, that woman is like a big time babe. So it's kind of bizarre that they made a movie kind of like with a guy like Jake Gyllenhaal that's kind of like my age, having a fantasy about banging his older, mature boss like that. It's kind of like almost like, I don't know. I'm not saying they made that movie for me. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying like it's weird. Also, that's one of the movies before Bill Paxton passes away too, which I was like, that's sad. That's one of his last movies, or the last movie he did. But at least he went out in a. At least Bill Paxton, before he died, he went out in a real good movie. At least, he didn't make like a piece of shit and then pass away. He didn't make like a big turd. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, I guess it was sort of sad because I knew that Bill Paxton had died right after he filmed Nightcrawler, and so I was watching the movie with that depressing fact in mind, and so it kind of personalized the movie for me on another level besides how hot Rene Russo is. Hmm. Oh, her husband wrote Nightcrawler. Oh, okay, that's an older movie. Oh, she was able to have a kid, huh? Oh, no, 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 no. He wrote that. Oh, okay. No, they got married back in 1992. Yeah. So, oh, okay, I see. He wrote. Oh, he wrote. Oh, yeah. He wrote Free Jack. That has Rene Russo in it too, huh? Yeah. Oh, okay. So they've been. Oh, that's where they met on Free Jack. Yeah. All right. Oh, so he wrote a screenplay about fucking his own wife by a younger man. That's kind of weird. He wrote a sexual fantasy about a woman he already sleeps with. That's pretty kinky, psychologically speaking. So it's either meta, it's self-aware, or it's like he knows his wife is hot, or and he knows that other men also think so. So it's kind of like meta, like wink, wink, or it's sort of like a weird, strange sexual fantasy of having sex with the woman you can already have sex with. So with a younger man, though. Okay, whatever floats your boat, but it's kind of getting his kink out in his screenplay writing, I guess. Yeah, work. I mean, I guess maybe that's how writers get out their psychological issues, is they write. Uh, yeah. So makes sense. They write about their fantasies in their writing. Yeah, which is healthy and elite, a cheaper than therapy, I guess. Yeah, Free Jack. That movie with Mick Jagger, Emilio Estevez, and Anthony Hopkins. Yeah, it's man, how do I feel about Free Jack? Yeah, it has time travel in it. Basically, Free Jack. Now we know that millionaires or I'm sorry, billionaires have been saying they've been trying to become immortal for a long time. World leaders have been saying they want to chase the fantasy of immortality. They even have a billionaire right now trying to chronicle his immortality. He's trying to eat perfectly, exercise perfectly. Um, he's trying to live as long as he can. He's trying to. He says his goal is to achieve immortality. I don't know what his final move for immortality would be. I don't know if he's going to try to freeze himself. He's going to try to use some form of advanced cryogenics. I don't know if he's going to try to transfer his brain into an artificial intelligence or a computer. Who knows what these fuckers are going to try to because they know once their mortal lives are over that they cannot continue to be conscious and to be alive anymore. And but they don't want to lose power. They don't want to lose control. So they're going to try to get rid of mortality so they can rule forever. So they can influence things and be alive forever. They're going to try to do that. But as far as we know, scientifically, that's impossible. Okay, so we know leaders have joked about trying, whether it's Vladimir Putin, uh, and business uh, billionaires. Yeah, but they're out there trying to find the fountain of youth or the fountain of the Holy Grail or immortality. So in the movie Free Jack, wealthy individuals um, before an individual is about to die, they time travel and they jack their bodies and insert themselves into these bodies, their consciousness, their brains into the bodies, and that's the premise of Free Jack. And it's yeah, it's not a very good movie. Yeah, yeah. Emilio Estevez was mostly a 1980s star, but he was, my God, was he trying? He was trying to become a big 90s star. He was trying to keep it going, and with the Young Guns thing, he might have done a pretty good transition from 1980s to 1990s. But I think Free Jack was a bomb. Men at Work was pretty good, but it wasn't like that big of a deal. And then yeah, his career kind of fizzled out in Hollywood after that, probably because Brad Pitt came along. This young, sexy, badass actor Brad Pitt came along, and then Emilio Estevez had a lot of. Judgment Night was all right, wasn't that great? I don't know. Emilio Estevez is not good at like being an action star. I don't think, unless what he was trying to do. Billy the Kid was actually great though. His portrayal of Billy the Kid, I guess because he had that baby face, that youthful look, and that helped him with the Billy the Kid. Even though in real life Billy the Kid was ugly as shit. Uh, There's a reason why I said that Brad Pitt killed Emilio Estevez's career. Yeah, even though it was just changing times. It wasn't the '80s anymore, and he wasn't really an action star, even though he was trying to be. In real life, he looks like he's probably just he might be shorter than Tom Cruise. He's probably not very intimidating. Just crushed my own self. Um, got crushed like Superman. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Free Jack was one of those movies that I wanted to like it, and then it just sucked. And it was one of the first movies, like Mick Jagger was in, the lead singer of Rolling Stones, and that was like supposedly a selling point. And it didn't really sell the movie. I was like, that was a selling point of the movie. Oh, Mick Jagger plays a bad guy, and then I was like, all right, you know, Mick Jagger is a bad guy. This will be, but Mick Jagger is an actor. He's a singer and performer, so it just kind of went to shit. Just kind of sucked. Yeah. Oh, cool. I hit myself again. I entombed my. Oh wow. Oh, how are you gonna get out of this one, Houdini? Ah, I locked myself in the tomb. uh, uh, well, I got myself in a pickle jar this time. Oh, I can't even. Oh, is that gonna work? Nope. Oh wait, what about this? Oh, nope. All right. Mm, mm, mm. It's hard to. I can't do like an up thrust because of the map. All right. Quantum teleportation. Yeah. Yeah, Free Jack sucked, and then Sir Anthony Hopkins called it terrible. Yeah, it sure was. If you make a great movie, then it's remembered, and if you make a Bond movie, then people don't remember it. It's been over 30 years later. It's like speaking. I think the Anne Rice movie. I think that a movie I think about all the time. That's like one of the best movies I've ever seen, and I was so glad I saw it when I was a teenager. Um, when it came out, the movie just had perfect casting with Kirsten Dunst as the little girl, Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise as the vampire Lestat, um, Christian Slater as the interviewer, as the shallow media reporter, and I love of course, Antonio Banderas was an amazing vampire. That movie was so. Did I think the movie was homoerotic? I think that um, you could say that. I don't think it was a gay movie. It was a gay male movie though. I wouldn't go that far. But I don't necessarily think that movies with strong male friendships are necessarily gay. Like people have been saying Frodo and Sam are gay for years and years and joking about it, but it's not true. It's not a gay book. I do notice that vampire movies are kind of homoerotic. Kind of, I mean, they're kind of naturally not homoerotic, but like that vampire movies are just erotic just by their nature. So the whole the idea of the vampires, it sucks the person's blood and feast on their their blood and all that. There's an erotic kind of a sexual undertone to that, just in general. Anyways, just from the get go. So and so Tom Cruise plays the vampire Lestat, and I read the next Anne Rice novel, which was called the Vampire Lestat. I think Tom Cruise should have made that movie. The Vampire Lestat was such a great book. So in the Anne Rice, it's Vampire Chronicles. So they didn't make all the Vampire Chronicles, even though um, maybe it was because even though Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise were huge stars, I think that they probably were getting so many movie deals that they didn't want to get bogged down in a Vampire Chronicles. Like today they would do it, but like in the '90s, actors wouldn't really commit to a franchise um, unless they were James Bond or something. Jason Bourne, Captain Kirk, they had a really good deal. So back then, studios weren't really into making Marvel like uh, cinematic universes. Well, we'll investigate this first. So some people might ask me what's my favorite movie, and I usually don't say Interview with the Vampire because it's so dark and macabre and shocking at times. So shocking that Oprah walked out of the theater during the slave scene. The slave, uh, they have this really hot slave girl at the beginning on the slave plantation, kind of like a high yellow Kamala Harris, like a real sexy type, and uh, Lestat seduces her and um, starts sucking her blood. And that's when apparently that's when Oprah was offended and walked out because it was a black woman. Yeah, I don't find interview. I don't find that movie offensive because vampire's gonna vampire. So ninja's gonna ninja, vampire's gonna vampire. Drug dealer's gonna deal drugs. So I wasn't really shocked, by the behavior really. Um, I don't think it's a particularly shocking movie. I think Taxi Driver or something's a lot more shocking with its really gory. Or Scarface is shocking. You know, it's like Vlad the Impaler of the Dracul. That's shocking. Some guy who puts wooden stakes up people's asses and sets them on fire and shit. That's shocking to me. Vlad the Impaler. Yeah, from the House of the Dragon of Wallachia in Romania. A guy who impales you in your asshole and then he eats dinner in front of you and laughs at you. That's shocking to me. Pol Pot shocking to me. The concentration camps of World War II, Auschwitz, that's shocking to me. Starving people to death in North Korea, uh, ethnic cleansing, ethnic genocide in um, the Armenian genocide, or whatever. Pol Pot, the Khmer Rouge, Cambodia. Yeah, those things, the killing fields, that's shocking to me. In Interview with the Vampire, in the face of Joseph Stalin and Adolf Hitler, can't light a candle next to that. That's kind of like a walk in the park. That's just a Sunday stroll, basically, compared to those folks. Because I mean, a vampire movie is inherently a horror movie, and it's inherently a fantasy movie too. Is basically what it is. It's high fantasy. People are not immortal. You know, there's not immortal beings on the earth that feed off human blood. That's just was made up to make a monster out of uh, Vlad the Impaler. We found the booty stash here. Yeah, that's why I get upset, when they when guys like Johnny Harris, when he does his YouTube videos, and every time he does European or Spanish colonization of the New World, he plays extra long violins or the conquistadors, killing the Incas or the Aztecs through disease and outright murder. And I'm not saying what they did was morally correct. It wasn't, but I don't play it. If I was telling you the story, I would tell the truth, but I wouldn't play extra liberal tears over the death of the native tribes of Mesoamerica. I wouldn't play extra long, sad shots of all the dead bodies and go ooh boo hoo and play violins for a long time. The way I look at colonialism and westward expansion into the new world, the way I look at it is survival of the fittest, and whatever civilization had technological superiority defeated the primitive tribes or turned them into slaves. I do not play extra violins because somebody had a bow and arrow and another guy had a musket, or the Indians weren't prepared for chicken pox and they died, millions died because of. I don't really consider that to be an intentional genocide necessarily, like marching 6 million Jews to the oven. So I don't really do the Johnny Harris liberal tears bullshit theater in regards to tribal people and native people in Mesoamerica and in American tribes, Native American tribes. In addition, I'm not bringing back the Aztecs, so what's the point in playing the extra violins? I don't really get that aspect of it, except just crocodile tears. So I'm not ever going to feel white or European guilt over something I didn't even fucking do and wasn't even around for. So never going to happen. So I look at history and the present and the future as all the same human continuum. It's just all the same um, flow. So what I'm trying to say is that if a particular nation state or civilization develops AI faster than the other one, then that particular nation state or civilization will become the dominant civilization on Earth. And it could be that there's a new paradigm in which artificial intelligence um, re- relegates humans into slaves. So in that case, humans wouldn't be keeping other humans as slaves anymore, as they did in Egypt and Africa and the Americas and around the world in the past. Um, Basically, human beings would be creating their own slave masters by creating a super dominant godlike intelligence, which enslaves the human race, like in the Matrix. So that would be an entirely different paradigm, but it would be like almost the the story of evolution, technological evolution would still be the same though. At its core, there would be a conquest. There would be winners, there would be losers, and that's how history unfolds. Uh, Even if it's a bitter one, no one likes to be a loser, no one likes to be a slave. But sometimes, it's coming for us or it's coming for you. And so it's coming whether you like it. It's coming like, chicken pox doesn't care or the conquistadors don't care if you don't have the immune system to fight smallpox or whatever. Cancer doesn't care how people feel about it. It just mutates your cells and then you slowly die. as cold as that sounds. So it doesn't really change the fact that how I feel about stuff. It doesn't change the actual flow of history. My feelings, my feels. So my feelings are not in line with objective truth. My feelings are not um, history, and the future will unfold however I feel about it or not. I'm not saying that feelings are unimportant. Okay, so we made it to two. Looks like the storm's coming in. Yeah, but feelings do not, they do not change the fact that a superior group or superior intelligence will always come to enslave or replace something that has come before. So I can't change any of that. It still doesn't change the flow of human history. There's a certain freedom knowing that there's a particular civilizational structure that flows throughout human history. There's a particular power in realizing that. And it's not really a helpless powerlessness. It's just a realization of what it is. So it's less about resignation than it is about acceptance of the flow. The unacceptance of the order of the flow of time and space and human civilization. That does not mean I will be happy if the Chinese beat us in the artificial intelligence race and then try to enslave us through uh, Chinese AI robots or something. I'm not saying if they march us off to the ovens and we're captured by advanced, superior, uh, artificially intelligent, super intelligent Chinese communist bots that I'm going to be super pumped about it or anything. All it means is that if a civilization or a country succeeds the United States in preeminence and dominance, that in this race there is no prize for second place, as Sean Connery would say in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade from 1989. That there is no second place, there's only winners and losers in life. And that's an objective truth and objective fact. And this truth might be brutal, it might be harsh, but it is what it is, and I can accept that. And acceptance is not a surrender; it's an epiphany. It's a celebration. The inevitable realization that another country or an artificial superintelligence may try to enslave the human race, and that there will be a chance for resistance against evil, that there will be that light of opportunity. Maybe the Jews didn't see it coming in Nazi Germany. Maybe the Armenians didn't see their genocide coming. Maybe the Romans didn't see their civilization falling. Maybe, maybe in the American Republic, maybe nobody saw the Civil War coming. Uh, Perhaps the Native Americans didn't see the Europeans coming, didn't know they even existed. But we know as American citizens and Western civilization that the Chinese communists are coming for global dominance. We know that. So we have a historical advantage because we know what's coming after us. And we know that there could be an artificial super intelligence that could enslave and destroy the human race. We could see that coming. We don't know when, we don't know where, we don't know exactly in what form this new evil will take shape, but we know it's coming after us. We know eventually we have to confront it. And so that's the optimistic part, is that we can prepare and get ready to fight the evil that's coming soon to a planet Earth near you. So in the past, there were certain parts of the human race and certain tribes that were targeted, and certain peoples that were enslaved. But in the final act, some evil force will try to enslave humanity itself into a cage. Maybe even try to wipe us out, the whole human race, in a great satanic genocide. This time, there ain't nobody safe. In the end times, in the Bible and Revelations, no man is safe, rich or poor, free or bond. The evil comes for us all in at the end of the world. Nobody is safe, not even Mark Zuckerberg, not even Jeff Bezos, not Elon Musk. No one is safe in the end times. in the Armageddon, the apocalypse. They say in the final days, many evil things will come to pass. Not just brother against brother, mother against daughter, and father against son, and all that. But in the final days, those will seek death, but will be unable to find it. But our finest light shall be found in the dark. Oh yeah, where am I at? I don't care. Oh, ah. Oh, uh-oh. Ooh, you got me. Oh, you can't do it that way. Wing. Ran out of arrows. No. No.
Our book's obscurity is ready.
Oh, is there a hobo under the bridge again? Oh, there it is. Oh, but they don't have the hobo this time. It would be. I kind of wish it was like in Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, where they had the hobo and he's got the empty bottles. And he's like, "Yo, dude," he's like chilling. Yeah, that was pretty funny. They should have, as a nod to Link to the Past, had the like lazy drunk hobo. Oh well, at least they put the camp under the bridge though, as a little nod to the Nintendo. Usually, always, typically, is true to its own traditions and history. That's just like Japanese culture in general is very good at that, staying true, staying true to itself. To thine own self be true. Oh, distracted that there's a big horse head in. That would be pretty distracting. You're like going to the hotel and there's a big horse head on it. Where? How serene. Is this the trick, pretty girl, that's gonna kill me? It's a trap. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. She's not a trick, pretty girl after all. Oh, what I was saying is that Nintendo has to watch about its corporate greed. Its greed has gotten out of control, where it wants to charge uh, too high a price for 20, 30-year-old games and stuff like that. It's just pure fucking corporate greed. Uh, I think the Nintendo Switch 2 was, I think it was kind of a failure because people really couldn't afford that shit. Yeah, I think corporate greed is getting the best of Nintendo Corporation. I'm afraid. When it's trying to bilk its customers instead of cherish its customers, which is bad. Yeah, it was lazy. I know the Nintendo Switch was one of the biggest selling consoles of all time, one of the most successful video game home consoles, and portable uh, Switch design was one of the best selling in history, but in all of gaming history. That being said, it was very lazy and greedy just to call it Switch 2 and not even have a new Mario or a new Zelda game to go with it. That was pretty fucking lazy. And to charge so much fucking money for the console, hundreds of dollars. Very, very. It's not only it's like all the bad qualities, like greedy, lazy, and they didn't even have a big launch title besides Mario Kart World. So it kind of sucked. I don't know if it was a total failure, but it was not a big success. I know that. the idea that a greedy corporation is going to milk out an already financially strapped and financially stressed society is a ridiculous, uh, foolhardy notion. And so it was really, really bad um, decisions from the executives at Nintendo. But I'm hoping on their Nintendo Next generation that they make better decisions on the Nintendo Next. And right, that's how you did it last time. Oh. Sweet home Alabama. Try that. Oh, you did it wrong, dude. Shit. Now you got a jelly to contend with. Okay, try that. Another jelly. Okay. Well, it says the Nintendo Switch 2 is considered a major success, breaking U.S. sales records and selling millions of units faster than the original Switch. Oh, okay. All right. Huh. Well, all right. Oh, there's a Reddit thread why it's steep price. All right. Uh, dun, dun, dun. Okay. I mean, I didn't get a Switch 2, it had a pretty steep price, so. Uh, all right. Okay. Well, I guess it was a hit. Yeah. Just listening to all that bad press. Um, I know people were saying that, like Mario Kart World and that stuff wasn't all that great. Mm, well, shit. Do we do it? No, we screwed up. All right, try this. Fart. That's it. I farted. Well, I'm enjoying the Switch 1, and one day I might get a Switch 2 or the next console. Are they just going to call it Switch 3? It's lazy shit. Oh, we did it. Okay. All right. People are arguing that some people say it's too expensive, like me, and then some people say, oh, it's reasonably priced. So there we go. All for the love of my boy. Yeah. Got key. So the first female prime minister of Japan. Uh, for a mature lady, guess what? She's not that ugly, huh? I'm not saying she's a babe or anything. I'm not saying she's a babe. I'm not saying she's a sex symbol. I think the Italian prime minister is really hot, Maloney. And then I did the joke. She has some nice Maloney's. There you go. Like melons. Yeah, she doesn't really have particularly big tits, but that was just the joke. But nice Maloney's. Oh yeah. No, she's actually a descent a relative of Mussolini. All in the family, huh? Shit. Oh,
The barber scale is now ready.
what? Oh, it's a day late and a dollar short. Definitely. There we go. Pop, 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 pop. Okay, so the thing is that it just keeps on. Oh, shit. Okay, so this one's gonna go faster. Ooh, nice. Oh well. Ba-ba. So we got a heavy rain soon. Yeah, I wonder when it's coming in. Well, I guess I was wrong technically about the uh, Nintendo Switch too. Yeah. Oh, wow, got a dark red severe thunderstorm. Uh, Here we go. Oh man, this is a massive one. So I'm gonna go more to the northern side of Houston, where I live, and okay, I'm gonna go do a zoom in and see when this mother hits. Thunderstorm statement. Oh well, get some bad boys. Just checking on the weather when this thing hits real quick. Okay. It's got a big red warning, which means the shit's gonna hit the plan. Uh-oh. What the hell? Okay, I'm starting to hear something outside. I guess the initial rains have started. Let's see. Looks like this big, huge squall line coming in. Man, pretty massive. All right, let me go to my area of town. Oh yeah, it's real bad. Clears out by 8 a.m. or so. All right, let's see the 24-hour one. Boom, boom, boom. Then it reloads for the second wave. Booyah! Then it clears out by Sunday. Okay. All right. Gonna be hard to sleep after 4 tonight. It's the. I hope there's not a fucking tornado. That really that really sucked balls. Yeah, I don't need a Nintendo Switch 2 or a PS5 or a um, Xbox X or a. I don't need a Nintendo Next, and I don't need a Grand Theft Auto 6, and I don't need an iPhone 17, and I don't need a Microsoft 11, and I don't need stuff like that to make me happy. It really doesn't, matter. If I never have the next Microsoft or the next iPhone ever again, or the next Grand Theft Auto game, life will go on until death. And so I know some people can't imagine not having the latest stuff, but okay. I'm gonna go try to get some sleep before the shit. So don't want to be up all night. But oh, are y'all starting to get scared now? Okay, Bella's getting closer. Tula's coming in. Okay, y'all are starting to get. Yeah, y'all are starting to get scared. I feel that. But yeah, we can snuggle up. Maybe I can put Tula on the bed. Maybe if she doesn't harass. She probably harass Bella too much. Maybe. Yeah. If it gets real bad, maybe we'll all snuggle together. Yeah. I know. I don't want you to be. I don't want Bella to be hyperventilating and Tula to be scared shitless. So, oh, Tula. Well, God bless. Best of success. And yeah, gonna sign off until hopefully we'll have power tomorrow. So, thanks for watching. Peace from Houston, Texas.